Now, in 1994, it was recorded that MMM held 1/3 of the entire cash in Russia. What does this mean? Now, when Seki Mavrodi introduced MMM, MMM was not run on the internet. It was run as a corporation. Now, what this corporation does is, they have tickets. They sold these tickets to members of the society. So when you come and buy this ticket, and after 1 month you return this ticket appreciates by 100%. So for instance, you buy the ticket at 100 naira, and then next month you come back to sell the ticket back to the company, you sell it at 200. So the people saw the ideology and how they were trying to ease their difficulty. So everybody embraced the opportunity, and the whole of Russia was taking refuge in that scheme. So when the government looked what is happening and see that Mavrodi and his team has secured 1/3 of the country's finance system, they had to do what? They had to clamp on the system and then give it all sorts of names: pyramid schemes, Ponzi schemes. That's what people call it when you have any scheme that redistribute money among people. They don't want to know how genuine it is or how it functions. All they know is that you have breached the protocol, you have breached the system, because the system has been designed to work from top government to central banks in respective countries down to local banks. So the moment you come in between the system, they say you have breached the system, you have no license, you don't have right to do this, you don't have right to do that. So they are going to clamp on the system and destroy it. So he felt bad and he went for prison for that. After spending some of his time in the prison, he came out of the prison and he said MMM is not going to die, that MMM is going to become his life work. So that was how we brought revolution into MMM. And today MMM has existed only on the internet. So before you become a member of this community, we are going to register you. You have an account online. So every activity is managed from your personal account. Now nobody is inviting you to his office to collect money from you and then give money to Mr. B. No. You make payment directly from one bank account to the other. Sorry, is this thing working fine?
Yes.
Are you hearing me very well? Okay, thank you very much. So it was recently reported that Bitcoin prices are being driven up just because of MMM. How many of us here knows what is Bitcoin? You know what is Bitcoin? You don't know? How many of us know what is Bitcoin? Anybody? Wow. Okay, let me digress gradually to Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is the future of money. Bitcoin is the future of money. Do any of us know what they call digital currencies? Perfect Money, Payza, Solid Trust Pay? None? Okay, somebody behind you. Thank you, brother. At least you make me to understand that we have to flow very well. Okay, so digital currencies or e-currencies are electronic currencies. The same way we spend money offline, that is how so many people spend money virtually. So we have different platforms and different digital currencies. But currently, one that is very decentralized is the Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin, how do I explain Bitcoin? Let me use an apple one example. Now, when you have 5 apples in your wardrobe, and then you decided to give this guy those apples, and then you give it to him, you have given it to him, and you have lost control of the apple. It's already in his hand, and he cannot take it back from you because you have given it to him. That is how Bitcoin works. It's decentralized digital currencies. Nobody owns Bitcoin, and nobody controls Bitcoin. Okay, so it's a free payment system online, founded by a man called Satoshi, because it's estimated that 1 million worth of Bitcoin is called Satoshi. So Bitcoin was invented by a man up to today is considered to be anonymous. Now, these are the human beings who are fighting the government, the current system we have today, which is totally unfair, unjust, because people has to print this money in the volume they want it and circulate it in the volume they want it, and sometimes take it back from us at the volume they want it. So some people are working so hard to make sure that we have a free society, whereas some others are working hard that we have that slavery still exists, but in a very modern way that we don't recognize it. Okay? So Bitcoin was reported to have surged because of MMM. So MMMNigeria uses Bitcoin, and MMM Global also uses Bitcoin. So, but in locally, we only advise people to use their local bank account because they understand how it works. Till you're able to grow, to understand what Bitcoin is and how you can use Bitcoin, then you can begin to use Bitcoin. Okay? So let's continue. We are a community that built on helping people become free. I said it before. I asked the question, if you are not the type that help people, honestly, this community is not for you. Because here it's solely about help. We don't preach that people will sell their businesses or sell their land and then carry the whole money and come and put it in MMM. No. We preach that people render financial assistance, help, donation. The same way you donate money to your siblings, you donate money to your friends, that is the same way you donate money to people and members of our community. And that is how other people also do what? Donate money to you. Okay? So let's talk about MMM ideology. Now, MMM is meant to create a fair financial system where money will no longer be an issue to all of us. Now, I was explaining this before with the system of a banker and a farmer. That is the ideology of MMM. Now, we have to find a way to help people who work more for money and earn less for money. It's not good. Somebody sits under the AC comfortably and prints this money and prints till he's tired of printing. In as much as the central bank or the IMF, International Monetary Bank, has given them the go-ahead, or you print this volume because you have given us some assets to back it up, or you print this volume. Now the system continues to print and print and print as much as they want to print. Whereas somebody else is somewhere in the farm doing manual hard labor to help the society. And then when he's done with that hard labor, he earns little. Whereas somebody who has sat under a very good environment, printing this money, doing no good or no physical good to the society, at the end of the day takes more money home, more than the person who works so hard to earn money. So Triple M is here to create a platform where there will be no need to go to banks to borrow money to execute financial projects. This is a reality. It's tested, it's proven. We have people in Nigeria currently now withdrawing more than 200,000, 100,000 monthly, even 1 million, 2 million from MMMNigeria. I don't know if any of you have visited our Facebook page. Has anybody visited MMM Facebook page? You have done. You will see a series of testimonies. This is no joke. MMM has come to stay. But what matters is why we take time to go state by state or visit people like this and preach about the ideology of MMM is so that you understand exactly what MMM is. Because for this platform to flourish and sustain, it depends on our action and inaction. Okay? Let me give you an example of what I'm explaining. For example, Matthew again saw the opportunity of MMM and he said, wow, as a Nigerian I can make money with MMM. He came on board and then he made a donation of 100,000. In less than 30 days, his mouth occurred, and then he decided to get help of 130,000. That's 30% of 100,000. He decided to get 130%. He said, wow, this thing really pays. He now goes back and tells his daddy, there is a business I found. And meanwhile, MMM is not a business. His daddy said, okay, let's go and try it. They went and sold their land and brought all the millions and put in MMM. Now he's going against the ideology of Triple M. And what is controlling Matthew at that point is greed. But I'm not saying that you have greed in your understand. So that point, what is controlling Matthew is greed. He wants to turn MMM into what? A money-making venture, a business. Whereas MMM is not a business. Let's see MMM as a box beside our wardrobe. Where we need money, we open it and then take as much as we want and solve the present need we have. And then we'll continue our daily lives. Now, if everybody has money like that, to have, sometimes, let's imagine, we human beings, we don't actually need so much money. Do you know that? But the truth is that the the way the society is programmed and conditioned, we work so hard to get this money, so it's sometimes all about this money. So we keep acquiring and acquiring and acquiring and acquiring as much as we can have, but at the end of the day, we don't need all this money. So if everybody will have a box in their house where they will simply wake up every morning and take out as much as they want to solve their present need, I don't think all of us will be doing certain things we do just for the sake of money. Everybody will go about, do something lawful and something meaningful he loves to do that will provide help and assistance to society. So MMMNigeria is here to create a platform where there will be no need to go to banks to borrow money to execute financial projects. So how do MMM works? I explained this earlier. MMM works as a peer-to-peer system. Now, peer-to-peer system is where there are people involved in a system and they decide to redistribute money among themselves. Not bringing in a central bank or bringing in one account and say, okay, Mr. A, have all this account and share this money to us when we need it. No. Here, you make this donation peer-to-peer from one member to another. So you don't even need to interact with as many people as possible. When you have a provide help order and that provide help order is ready, you are assigned to another person to provide that help. You will see his bank account, his name, even his phone number to contact him to know if he's a real human being. And then you make this deposit solely to the person's account, and then the person confirms you, and another person also makes his donation to you. That is how the system is structured. Do you understand? Good. So MMM is a community of people providing each other financial help on the principles of gratuitousness, reciprocity, and benevolence. I said it earlier before. Before you make donation in MMM, make up your mind that you are dashing this money to somebody. Don't see that you are doing an investment or you are doing a business so that you can get returns. No, it's not. We don't want to have another cry about Fadama, my wise, my gold, because we posted an ad on Facebook and a lot of people were commenting about previous experiences they have had in the past with investment programs. It's horrible. I've had so many of them. I've been in just for the past 10 years. I know what has happened here. So, and I wouldn't stand in front of you here today if this system is one of them. I'm a kind of person that I hardly promote something. In fact, in my entire life, this is the first thing I'm ever taking to the streets. So I'm very passionate about this. Why? Because I saw the spirit here. It's all about giving. It's not taking, it's giving. So it's very important we stress out this to every participant, okay? So this is how MMMNigeria platform look like. We only have two things that you will see when you log in, when you become a participant. One is provide help, and the second one is get help. It's just two buttons, that's all. So when you want to provide help to somebody, you log into your system and you click provide help. And the moment you click provide help, you fill the form and then you submit the amount of money you want to provide help with. And then you wait patiently. You'll be assigned to somebody in less than 1 day, 2 hours, up to 35 days. So sometimes when you provide help and you are not assigned immediately, please do not panic. Wait patiently till you are assigned to somebody to provide help to the person. In fact, sometimes they will pray that they don't even assign us. Because when they don't assign you, your money is between your pockets. Your mouth is growing. So maybe they will assign you on the 30th day, and then you go and make the deposit to the person. The moment you are coming back and confirming it, your own Mavro is ready, and you request to get help. Another person pays you instantly. So you have to just spend money today and get money tomorrow back. So, but I'm not saying that is the case. You can provide help now. Before you turn, it's already assigned to somebody. And once it's assigned, you have 48 hours to complete that order. If you don't complete the order, you are blocked from the system, okay? And process of unblocking account takes a very tedious process. So we don't encourage people not to look at your account. You have to check your account at least once every day. If you're a participant and a serious one, please, okay? So this is how the platform looks like. You will see provide help button and get help button. So when you click on this button, you will render assistance to somebody in this community. When you click on this one, somebody else will render assistance to you. Is it very clear? Is it confusing? Good. It's confusing. Okay. I wanted to take all questions at the end, but I will digress more.
So the person has an account number.
Okay, let's get back to the basics again. I asked all of us use banking services, isn't it? And all of us use medical doctors, their services. Good. So once you have a local bank account, you can participate in MMM. So the second participant, yes, you have to register online on the platform. Yes. When you are registering, you are going to fill out your bank details, your account number. It's secure to you. Only you knows your password. We also have to talk about the security of your account. It's very important. We'll get to that point, okay? We'll get to that technical part. So let's continue. So let's talk about Mavro. I've already mentioned Mavro when we're waiting for the projector to peak. Mavro is the internal currency of the system. Okay? So each time you make a donation to somebody in the system, you are rewarded with what we call Mavro. You are not rewarded with Naira. You might see Naira there, but it's written there, Mavro. So that is the internal currency of the system. So you will receive a 30% reward of Mavro at the end of the month for providing assistance to somebody. So Mavro is the internal currency of the system. Mavro's amount will start growing from the moment of deposit at the rate of 30% per month. So what it means is that every day you have 1% accrued to your account for providing assistance to another participant of the community. Okay? So the calculation of interest occurs twice a week, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So every Tuesday when you log into your account, you will see that interest has been calculated and provided in your account. Some of my colleagues in Lagos will say Tuesday and Thursday is Mavro dance in Nigeria, because that is when interest accrued. So this sum is in Mavro shows how much you can request yourself. So let me also explain something very important here. Now when you provide help, day one, now this Mavro will be rewarded to you in your account. You begin to see it there. For instance, if you provide help of 10,000 Naira, you will begin to see 10,000 worth of that Mavro in your account. So when you see that 10,000, you cannot withdraw it at that moment. Why? Because it's frozen. It's going to be frozen for 2 weeks, 14 days. Then after 14 days, it's unfrozen. It becomes green. Now, why this rule was implemented was that people were testing the system. They come in today, they provide help. Tomorrow morning, they saw that their money is green, they can withdraw. They request for help immediately. So it was causing so many huge hitches in the system. Imagine like 1 million people providing help today, and tomorrow morning all of them are requesting for get help again. So it doesn't look so nice. So now we froze the Mavro for a period of 14 days. So immediately after 14 days, it turns green. And when it's green in the system, you can request for withdrawal. Okay? So from the 15th day of providing help, you can request for get help. But if you are patient enough to wait for 30 days, your Mavro will complete 30%. So for instance, if you provide help of 1,000 Naira and you wait for 30 days to get help, it will be completed 1,300 before you can request to get help. You understand? So let's talk about the 30%, where it comes from. Because I know I will receive this question much at the end of the presentation. How do we generate this 30%? Now we get this 30%. There is no interest rate in MMM. There is no interest rate in MMM. That is why I explained that MMM is not a business. It's not an investment. It's not a hype. It's not even a company. So there is no interest. There is only reward. And when you provide help, you are rewarded with 30% Mavro. So there is no interest in the first place. So there is no interest rate in MMM. In MMM, after you donate money, you get rewarded with Mavro. Okay? Mavro is an index of your contribution to the development of the community. So because you have decided to help us develop this community, you receive Mavro for being a participant or a member of the community. And this Mavro is expected to grow at 30% per month. It is just a technical term used in the system. Programmers can adjust this growth rate of Mavro at any moment. The amount of Mavro and its growth rate can be decreased, increased, stopped, or cancelled. Do any of us know about MMM Global? Good. We'll talk about that later. So the 30% cycle can only go on and on if we have somebody who is willing to provide help and another person who is willing to do what? To get help. For example, if Matthew, my friend, decided to provide help today of 1,000 Naira, and in the system, nobody is willing to get help, Matthew cannot spend his money because nobody in the system needs help. So we always urge people to get help and provide help. That is the only way MMMNigeria can sustain and flourish. If we have one person at a point providing help and another person requesting to get help, which means Matthew will have somebody to transfer his money to, his spare money to. So we also encourage that participants should always provide help and get help. For example, if you provide help of 1,000 naira and at the end of 30 days, you looked into your account and you saw 1,300, we advise you to take out your interest, which is the 300, and also provide back of 1,000. Or if you want, you can take out the 1,000 and provide back 300, but unfortunately, the minimum you can provide is 1,000 naira, up to 2.2 million. Okay? So it's very important to know that provide help is the oxygen of this community. If we don't provide help, we cannot get help. Okay? So at each time we get help, let us also try to provide help. That way the system will continue working on and on. So provide help queue and get help queue. So provide help queue is deposit. So when you provide help, you are making a deposit to another participant. So you are assigned to the participants to transfer this money to the participant's bank account. So after you have transferred that money and the person confirmed to you that he has received the money, your own Mavro is ready for withdrawal in 15 days and is completely ready for the full. You see that the amount they want to get help of will be larger than the amount they provided, isn't it? So we need this 30%. If Matthew provides help of 10,000 naira, I'm going to get 5% from the first level of Matthew. Now if Matthew goes back home and tell his brothers and sisters, I saw something wonderful today, you have to join, and they join, as a manager, I'm going to get 3% from Matthew's brothers and sisters. Are we understanding it? So subsequently, that's how it goes on and on and on. So if you become a manager, you have chances of getting 5% from first level, 3% from the second level, 1% from third level, 0.5% fourth level, 0.25% fifth level, 0.1% the sixth level, 0.5% the seventh level, 0.03 the eighth level, 0.01 subsequently to infinity. So it's a very big opportunity to help us grow financially if we really understand what is before us. So let's proceed. So let's talk about the risk of MMM. Now, if anybody comes before you to present an opportunity to you and he doesn't tell you about the risk of the opportunity, I don't think that's a very good one. So we are going to talk about the risk of MMM. Now, MMM is a community for peer-to-peer money exchange. Thus, MMM only redistributes money between its participants, connecting a donator to a recipient. So this is just a platform given to us to assist each other. The man in Russia is benefiting nothing from this system. It's only benefiting us. There is no central account. So we are not paying to him, we are paying to ourselves one after the other. So it's very important we understand that the system was only built to redistribute money between its participants, connecting a donator to a recipient. Therefore, in order that the mutual aid process may be beneficial and not be stopped, the number of participants donating money should generally increase. And we are happy that we are generally increasing. I remember last year when I was invited to MMM, I was skeptical about MMM. I said, no, this one is another one again. Some of us have said that too. I said, no, this one is another pyramid scheme again, it will collapse. I watched them. In less than 1 month of launching in Nigeria, they have already 600 members. Before 2 weeks, it's already 1,000. Before the second month, they're celebrating 3,000 members. And currently today, we have 14,000 members in less than 3 months of operation. So I'm beginning to see the potentials of how we're going to grow in the next 6 months, 1 year, even 2 years. So it's very important we understand that generally we need new members to grow the community. And my own way of also giving back to the community is also to stand before you today and tell you about MMM Nigeria so that we can continue growing our community, okay? Sorry, please, if you are coming in now and you are not registered, it's very important you pen your name down, okay? Thank you very much. So the community constantly works to improve the reliability of the mechanism of mutual assistance. However, it may happen that those who have donated money will not receive help back. Donate only spare money. So that is the warning. You might provide help to somebody today, and you don't get provide help to tomorrow. What will happen? Hope you will not come back to fight us, or look for Emmanuel in the street and say, Emmanuel, you promised me that I will get 30%, and I put 1 million, I couldn't even get the 300,000. So we say it's very important to know that you are making a donation. You are providing help, assistance to somebody you don't even know. So do not expect it back. But eventually, if you expect it back and get it, then it's a blessing, isn't it? So it's very important you donate, only spend money, and not sell your house or sell your car, or even borrow. We don't advise people to borrow money to put in MMMNigeria. It's not a business. It's not an investment. Please. So do not borrow money or do not sell your house because there is an opportunity in front of you. Remember, there is no guarantee you cannot get this money back. You are only making a donation to somebody that you don't even know. Okay? So, however, for many years of operation, we have proven the system's reliability, and many have implemented various mechanisms to make donation exchange process more stable and beneficial. Remember I told you about MMMNigeria starting sometime in 1989, and it has passed through challenges, evolution, and process. Today I want you, when you go home, to do some research on MMM. You're going to see a lot of news, a lot of information about MMM, a lot of scam issues. Now MMM has grown because they have tried to solve these challenges. Why can't the system work? We want this thing to work. Why can't it work? They keep solving it, and today they have implemented technology to solve it better. So now we only provide help via a personal platform on the internet, and we also get help via a personal account. So it's becoming more secure and more easy to manage than the way it was before. Okay? So it's very important we understand the risks associated in MMM. Please do not borrow money, do not sell your house, or do not sell your car, or do not put all the money you need for your living. We say donate, only spend money, free money. Some will tell me, man, there is nothing like spend money in reality. Let me tell you, there is something like spend money. What is spend money? Spend money is that money you left in the bank and it's not doing anything for you. You're not using it at the moment. Till you have one problem or need, you go back to the bank and pick it and use. That's your spend money. Because it's not doing anything. But somebody in the bank is using it to make more money. So that's your spend money, okay? So let's talk about security in MMM. Now there are security measures implemented in MMMNigeria to make sure that the system is stable. We are still growing, we are in a growth phase in Nigeria, and we have not encountered any of such problem because we are still growing. Now when you provide help in MMMNigeria, it takes you before 30 days, 35 days before you are assigned to somebody to pay, because there was nobody getting help. Because everybody was willing to provide help, but there is nobody getting help. Nobody needs help because the system was still new. So with time, it begins to grow. We have 1,000 participants, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. So now when you provide help, it takes 15 days for your order to be dispatched. When I say dispatched, it means to merge you with another participant to make the donation to. So now it takes 15 days or even less for you to donate that money to somebody. So also it's going to drop further and further. But the other beauty side of it is get help. When you click on the get help button, it takes less than 30 seconds. You are assigned to somebody to pay you. Why? Because there are plenty of people on the queue willing to provide help. There are few people requesting to get help. So everybody is looking for who need assistance. Nobody is coming forward. So this is a very beautiful opportunity. So let's understand it. So the security about MMM, let's talk about post-mode. Now, remember that this system is controlled by us, our actions and inactions. So when we have much donations flowing into the system is very healthy. Everybody can get help and get paid. But when we have few donations going into the system, there is a problem. It means not everybody will get help instantly, isn't it? So in such situations, we implement what we call pause mode. Now, we pause it because nobody can get help, so that more donations can come into the system. But just like I'm explaining previously, there is no pause mode in Nigeria yet, because we are still growing. I heard South Africa has had their first pause mode earlier, right? Good. Because South Africa has already grown. South Africa have above 1 million participants now. And their own is like crazy, like they're taking it to the street. They're so happy about it because they found something that changes their lives. So they have had pause mode once. And what actually brings about pause mode? There's only one thing in MMM that brings about pause mode, and it's panic. Now let me explain what panic is. Panic is when the media houses or government comes about and tell people that MMM is a scam, MMM is fake, don't put your money there, Matthew becomes scared. He quickly run to withdraw his money. He doesn't want to provide help again.